In less than 48 hours, the FIFA World Cup will kick off, and Donald Trump's cruel immigration enforcement agenda is already messing it up. FIFA confirmed that a referee from Somalia who was set to officiate at the World Cup has been denied entry to the United States and will no longer be able to participate in the tournament. Omar Artan arrived at Miami International Airport on a flight from Istanbul Saturday. He was barred from entering the country following a routine inspection. He said this, quote, "I am very, very disappointed." He said that in a New York Times interview, a telephone interview from Istanbul, the city he had been flown to after he was refused entry here. Quote, "I'm just simply a referee who's trying to live his dream, the biggest dream of my life, to come to the World Cup. I had the right papers and everything. I had the right visa," Mr. Artan said, adding that he had also shown documentation from FIFA as well as photographs of his career over a decade as a professional referee. Border officials also checked online material detailing Mr. Artan's career, he said. He was named Referee of the Year 2025 by the Confederation of African Football, which governs soccer in Africa. And the vice captain and star player for Iraq's team, Ayman Hussein, was also detained when the Iraq team arrived in the U.S. this week. According to Reuters, Hussein was held at Chicago's O'Hare Airport for almost 7 hours after arriving with his international teammates and staff members. I want to bring into our coverage Pulitzer Prize. That's the first time I've had that in your title. Pulitzer Prize winning host of the podcast Pablo Torre Finds Out. Contributor Pablo Torre. Also joining us, political analyst Molly Jong-Fast, whose Pulitzer is coming. It's coming.
Yes.
She's the host of Fast Politics and a New York Times contributing opinion writer. What's going on?
You know, this is foreseen. Right. I wish there was something beyond, look, we kind of told you so, but this is an administration that has decided to make theater out of its immigration policy in general. And now when they host the biggest party in the world, that's what the World Cup is. It's a giant party. It is the global village. Everybody comes to the host nation, and the host nation happens to be ruled by an administration that you cannot trust. Fundamentally, when it comes to which story are they telling and which story are you buying? Are you buying the journalism? Are you buying the testimony from people who are saying this is the greatest ref from his part of the world, this is his reward? Or are you buying the noises that are now leaking out from the administration saying this is one of those bad hombres? And it's like, well, great. Here we have a familiar dynamic that is familiar across the news cycle to date.
What's interesting to me about covering the same story, which is sort of the brutal and clunky nature of his immigration policies, is to see it encroach on a new world that there are a lot of people that come here from other countries to play in a lot of sports, basketball, baseball in particular. But to see this event, which is such a global sports story, impacted negatively by his heinous immigration policies. Is it an oversight? Is it intentional? I mean, what does your reporting suggest?
Malice and incompetence are really hard to tell apart. And at some point, my reporting suggests the difference is vanishing. That by signing up to do this and being a steward of this institution unto itself. Like the World Cup, I should be clear about this. It is run by FIFA, and FIFA is the apex predator of all the corrupt global sporting bodies, right?
Didn't they give Trump a fake trophy?
Correct. This is the fake
Peace Prize.
The fake Peace Prize.
They didn't get much for that.
No, and in fact, one wonders, will they award it ever again?
Yeah.
It seems like a bit of a bespoke sort of thing. So I'm not here to fall on my fainting couch and say the World Cup is pure. It is always this tool of, frankly, autocracy. That's its history. But when it comes to, therefore, why does the United States want in? Well, it raises all of these other questions of, look, if it was up to me, of course, the United States would be a host, but it would be done with a level of transparency, with a level of commitment to not be yet another autocratic regime in a line of autocratic regimes that have signed up for this tournament to profit off of it. Yeah. At the expense of not only the characters for whom this is ostensibly for, the players, the coaches, the referees. They would also do it because, hey, there's the potential of proving that all of these countries that may otherwise be at war with each other can coexist. You know, that's the Olympic ideal. That is what the World Cup could be. And we're not getting any of that because of course, every war is also a story of conflict of interest in this country right now.
What is interesting to me, I said, immigration is one of the oldest Trump stories we've been covering now for a decade. So is appeasement.
Right.
And so this sort of BS trophy they gave him obviously didn't work that well if their referees can't get into the country.
Yeah, I mean, there's a really important detail in this story. I was reading it before, and his immigration interview ended after 11 hours. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah. So think about this. The guy gets off his flight from Istanbul. He has all of the right papers. He has all of the right documentation. He is known as the referee of the year in Africa.
Like last year.
Yeah, last year. So he's clearly a very serious person at this very serious sport. And he gets questioned for 11 hours. He actually gets sent somewhere else. And then he gets sent back to Istanbul. And so I think when you look at this administration, you cannot take immigration in a vacuum. You have to pull back and you have to say, like, this administration that has children dying of measles, that has a screwworms are back, right? And I'm going to do you a favor right now and say, do not Google them. But they are a really scary parasite that
cattle, right?
Cattle, and it's going to make beef more expensive. We have all this like incompetence, all these things that were things we didn't have to worry about 3 years ago are back. And so I think it is really important. Like, it may be incompetence, it may be racism, it may be that that the immigration policies are racist. It's all of that. And the idea that they were going to have anything, an international sporting event where people from other nations were going to have to come here and try to get in and have to deal with this level of incompetence. I mean, remember, we were in the longest Homeland Security shutdown until a few weeks ago. I mean, this is not how government is supposed to work.